there's this guy called Larry Ellison. He's the chief officer of technology in Oracle. He was speaking about how it will be so easy for people to be diagnosed if they have early stages of cancer using the blood test through AI to get a diagnosis.
I think that we're in an era of free speech.
I think we should
content on demand, technological advancement where people should actually be let to be.
The issues of ChatGPT is really evolving and is at the high peak.
I want to be very honest, first of all. A bit of AI is corrupting our learning process.
Is your lecturer watching?
I'm sorry, dear lecturer, if you're watching. I don't mean it like this, but I mean it anyway. This is big.
This is big. Let me do a Trump and say, this is big.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hello, welcome to another episode of TechWise podcast. My name is Chiro, the tech student who is here to ask the questions you didn't think you need answers. And to my right.
Hello. Welcome to yet another episode. My name is Jacob, always your tech journalist, coming to you with facts and news around the tech industry, updating you on what has been happening for the last 1 week that we have been away. Hope you'll enjoy. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Saji or Gordon from kilakitu.co.ke. The techpreneur in the show, the person who is trying to put numbers and business to tech. And I'm glad to be back.
Welcome.
It was a beautiful week.
Oh yeah, for sure. Did you notice we have very many likes and views? Thank you guys.
Oh yes, thank you.
We take it very, very humbly.
Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the comments.
Keep subscribing. Yeah, and keep the likes coming.
And not forget that the show is proudly sponsored by Kila Kitu. You can find them across our social media sites and also download their app on Play Store, kilakitu.co.ke, to get access to their accessories, laptops, computers, and other gadgets that you may need around the tech.
We say at kilakitu.co.ke, you need it?
We got you. All right. So this week in tech, there's been a lot happening.
Oh yeah, it was a big week.
Kwanza, like maneno yanachemka. Did you see Big Brother and their big things?
Big ambitions.
Kwanza, they have President Donald Trump in power now.
Yeah, I think the big event in the week for me was, of course, the Trump inauguration.
Yeah, he's
so many lessons.
44th?
The 45th and
47th president.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
and Trump must have something about him, eh?
He's like, I got two numbers.
45th, 47th.
Yeah.
I think there was so much standout, especially from a tech point.
Yeah.
With the inauguration, I think the announcements, the executive orders, his initial investment. I think those are some of the things we can start the show with.
Yeah, the big thing that also caught my eyes this week was during his inauguration, there's one of the executives that he signed.
Oh yes.
It was the big one on tech.
The big news from the Big Brother.
Ooh, let me tell you mine. He's putting down 500 billion USD.
Whoa.
Do you understand what that is?
500 billion USD equivalent to 65 trillion.
65 trillion. Kenya
that goes like 10 years or 20 years of our economy.
Yeah.
Think about it. Imagine annual budget ya kila mwaka for the next
year. Ukiweka counties.
Ukiweka kenye utaweka.
SHA.
Inabaki change.
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yeah, I think that really shows the focus that Big Brother and the world is taking.
True. So he was breaking down the 500 billion USD to be for an infrastructural setup in Texas.
Yeah.
This one is a collaboration between Stargate. It's actually Stargate in cooperation with Oracle, with OpenAI, and what was the other one?
SoftBank. SoftBank.
And
yeah.
others also, like Microsoft
Microsoft
and
is
the
part-
others, Google, they're all coming in to do it. And they are planning to set up really good computing systems that can help the AI model, big
I think it's
databases.
both the infrastructure and softwares.
Yeah.
But now, what does this mean to other developing countries in terms of investment in AI and technology?
Well,
I think tech, first of all, even before thinking about the other country, it shows the focus that, for the superpower, the US is still the superpower in the world today. For them and for the president to prioritize day one and the first investment to be such a major announcement, I think it shows that the future is tech.
yeah.
I think if this was 50, 40, 20 years ago, probably the first thing they want to do is to have a march past, the military, to show the force, the military force and the jets and all that, because that is what would have showed power.
Talking of superpower,
But now what shows the real power is the fact that they're able to control data. You can imagine the amount of data they want to control. They know that if they have algorithms, they control the algorithms, they control big data.
Yeah.
I mean, they will literally be able to control everybody in
talking
the
of
world.
superpower, there are also the issues of TikTok has been trending also in the US before his assumption of power.
Yeah.
And talking of superpower between China and US in terms of TikTok and also in terms of security of data, as you've talked about. What's up in that space?
Well, you see, for US and China, like he said, it's not a war because of security. It's all because of data. And everyone wants control over what they can manipulate the people to do. Because when we have data, we have algorithm. And when we have algorithm, we can easily give out, or the government can easily distribute information and details to the citizens however they want to do it.
Yeah.
So the moment that TikTok has not been able to allow a percentage of the big brother to have TikTok, they don't have control over
So
that.
is it the big brother going to take over TikTok over from China?
No, not per se. I
Not to
think
take
they'll come
over-
to an agreement.
Yeah, the proposal that Trump has is to have 50-50 ownership. First of all, with the 50% government ownership of the US.
Okay.
And you see what is happening with TikTok stories. It is not about national security, as she has said. It's about scrutiny. It is about control.
Yeah.
You realize with AI and technology, what the most important word there is algorithm.
Yeah.
Because if you are able to control what people see, take for example TikTok.
Yeah.
If you go to China and you open TikTok, the things that pop up at the top, if you just go and open, the things that pop up are things to do with education issues, things to do with trade issues, things to do with technology, okay? Because the algorithm has been set that is what you need to see,
Oh, yes.
all right?
Yeah.
But in the US, actually just come to Africa. What happens if you go and open TikTok? It is what we call consumerism.
Yeah.
You will just see memes, funny things, entertainment.
That's-
Why? Because the people who have control of the algorithms would want you, being in Africa, to just check out things that will lead to you purchase their products. I think we were having the discussion before the show and we were saying that China exported to Africa products worth 120 billion. Okay, 120 billion, that is another what, 15, 16 trillion,
Yeah.
equivalent shillings.
It's another decade. Of
So you
our
can
economy.
imagine, I mean, if they have control of what do you people see,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
They have a control of 120 billion dollar market.
Yeah.
So that's what the US is trying to avoid. They want to be the ones who have control of the algorithms. They want to be the ones to control what the public sees. And I think it's both very dangerous for government ownership and censorships, but also I understand where they're coming from, the US, because you can't, expose your people and your data to a foreign country.
True. Also, with AI right now, another place that has a big highlight is the health industry.
Yeah.
So during the inauguration and when Trump was giving signage to the executive about the AI, there's this guy called Larry Ellison. He's the chief officer of technology in Oracle. He was speaking about how it will be so easy for people to be diagnosed if they have early stages of cancer using the blood test through AI to get a diagnosis. And then within 48 hours, get an mRNA vaccination. That is something that used to take 2 months. 2 months and maybe someone's cancer is really spreading really quick. So after that, they just go into chemo and then chemo, you know, that whole process, yeah? But it's so good right now that they are developing and putting in infrastructure that can even help in such cases. So it means that you can be seated somewhere, just send in your blood test, and within 48 hours, you have whatever you need. You don't need to fly over to maybe another state to get checked by that doctor, get your biopsy checked and all that. That's a really good thing.
But again, Gordon, drawing back to Trump and the US, however, tech being good and being given a lot of budget of 500 billion or million US dollars,
An investment.
There's a controversy between the former president Joe Biden and Donald Trump on the bills also.
Yes, that's also a good one. We also noticed among the 50 or so executive orders that Trump signed when he became president, there was one which was signed. I mean, he was trying to undo a previous executive order by Joe Biden, which he had signed in 2023 on consumer protection against AI. In 2023, Joe Biden signed an executive order saying that anybody who comes up with an innovation around AI, there are some certain parameters that they will have to put in place to control the consumers. But what are we seeing Trump doing? Trump says, on day one, number one, push through an investment of 500 billion US dollars for AI, which is good. Then number two, cancels previous laws that were trying to limit AI. You know, but I think it's a good thing because no, I think he's not even that. I think for him, he is focused on what he wants. Number one, well, with his Elon Musk friend, he is. I think they are very clear that the next frontier for them is tech. All right.
Yeah.
Tech, AI, data, and free speech.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And you know, AI cannot be founded on anything that is not free speech.
Yeah, but to some extent, I want to really nataka ni differ. Sawa, and it's okay if we disagree on this.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, when he says free speech, we have different types of AI. There's one that's called machine learning. Yeah. Machine learning is where AI adapts to what a human being is doing and takes it from there. It's not necessarily programmed to do X, Y, Z, W, no. It only adapts to what you do and your algorithms. Yeah. So in this case, if we talk about free speech and say you use AI to do maybe your business and entrepreneurship research, so it will only base it on what you want, But then when it comes to someone else, it will not be based on what they want because they don't know anything. Their AI does not know anything. It's a machine learner.
But now
that's why I'm not okay with it saying
stating that however we give regulation on issues of AI and the development of AI, but now what's the other negative feedback that you can give to those who are using the tech or the AI development?
Look at it from a home perspective. As we don't have infrastructure to control our data. Yeah. Okay. So if it is a free speech place, there's a child who will take a phone, go to AI because they've heard about AI and research something. If it's a free speech place, kuna vitu zenye zinaweza jileta hapo which are parental guidance. You get? So this is why I have a debate with it. There must be regulations. I will not agree with big
first of all, we are living in the year 2025. Okay. We have significant level of tech advancement. Yeah. All right. And knowledge advancement as well. So for me, most of the people who want to censor AI and tech are basing it more on misinformation. Saying, hey, people will see, we had a conversation last week about the deepfakes. And people will think it is real. Hey, first of all, we are in 2020. You can tell this is not president. This is a cartoon. Let's not go back to last week's discussion. But you can tell. So for me, And what I think we should be thinking more of is self-regulation, but not censorship. Self-regulation in the sense, like either the industries, the tech industry, let us ask ourselves, how do we self-regulate, okay, from an ethical point of view, instead of saying, government needs to censor or government needs to put, otherwise we will not
you
achieve.
agree with Big Brother?
I think that we are in an era of free speech.
I think we should leave
content on demand, technological advancement where people should actually be let to be.
No, please, guys, comment. You debated, I don't agree. I want it to have regulations. I need it to have regulations, and it's
But,
okay
but
if
as we move
doesn't.
to, I think just before we leave this, what I know today's discussion is tech revolution.
Yes.
AI revolution.
Yeah. AI/tech revolution.
Now the student with us, what is AI? I asked that question last week.
Now I'm carrying books for you to study with me. Okay, work with me on this one, okay? AI is a general term for anything that allows computers to carry human-like behaviors. Like I said,
you bado technical theory.
Yeah.
What is AI?
So basically now, out of the definition I have given, there's an AI program that I discovered the other day. It's called Turbolearn. This is where unaenda class, una record kenye lecturer anasema the whole time there, and then it literally summarizes it into notes. So like that, it is what a human being would have done. Mwalimu akiongea uko mbele, you're there jotting down your notes, putting on the good notes, asking yourself the questions. That's basically what AI does.
So artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So haven't we been having artificial intelligence with computers?
We have even with Google. We have, but that was search engine. This is the ask engine.
Optimization.
Okay. Are we together now? So this is why AI is different from Google, because this is not based on search engine. This is based on ask engine. And the moment you ask, tell you what, AI will capture that and use it for another person and another person. Yeah.
So Jacob, what are some of, if we look at AI in practice, what are we looking at, especially from, I know we've talked a little bit about healthcare, for you in terms of media and financial sector, what are we looking at?
In media, there's a lot that we are benefiting from AI. When we take, for example, the lane of content creation and automatic generation of content, like the issues of ChatGPT is really evolving and is at the high peak.
So is ChatGPT the AI?
No. It's a type of AI.
So break it down.
ChatGPT is not AI. ChatGPT is a type of AI. How would I break this down?
Because today, most of us, when we hear AI, tunaruka at ChatGPT.
No, it's just the same as saying turbo AI and...
How many forms of AI do you have?
We have 4 forms of AI. That is machine learning, there's generative artificial learning, and one more. AI, and then deep learning. Deep learning is where now it's more complex and based on codes. Now that is done on the back end. So within these 4, now that's where we get examples like ChatGPT, of which ChatGPT is under AI. And then we have like Turbolearn. Turbolearn is under machine learning. Yeah, so there are different types that go on different sectors. Yeah.
So Jacob, you are
apart from the ChatGPT, we have also other data-driven like sports scores in live commentary and so on. We have the financial issues part of it, but also in the video and content generation, they are also automated, or you just command a software, an AI software, to just give you what you want in terms of video generation or also audio generation.
I have a question on your sector. Kidogo to let me interrupt you. There's this thing that people use, it's called CapCut.
Yeah.
Has CapCut been able to put in AI?
So,
CapCut has
first of all, for the purpose of someone listening to us, watching us, what is a cupcake?
CapCut.
See, now I would have said cupcake. What is
CapCut is an editing software.
Okay, video editing software.
It's a video editing software.
Yes.
That just like Adobe, the one you used to Adobe Premiere Pro and so many others. It's a video editing. So from your question, CapCut is trying to integrate also AI into its features. Yes.
That's so nice.
There's a feature that you use to generate AI content, captioning, voices or
Yeah.
speeches and many others.
Now this
Effects, AI
CapCut,
effects.
in terms of business, CapCut would help with like things like content creation and digital marketing. That is where CapCut will be able to, for someone who doesn't know how to make content and just runs a business, they can just be able to take a few pictures and videos.
So basically what you're saying is, because we need to break it down.
Yeah.
You take a video, you have a photo, a camera, you take your videos, you dump them on the app called CapCut.
Yes.
Then you tell them what you want. You want a 2-minute video.
No, CapCut is not yet at that level of command. You just do, but there are additional features in CapCut that are AI. Yeah. So that's where you can prompt like captioning. Now you can command it to caption for you a video that you have manually edited. But it's also in the trend of also integrating AI into making it to a prompt feature.
Okay, because I was looking also at Canva, and Canva is also a way that people make posters and such things that the businesses do need, and logos. I think logos too. So like if we involve AI in this, we will get, something called unique but very detailed kind of logos. There's a logo you'd see and you're like, ile inakaa kama ya, but this time I think AI would make it better. By us integrating AI into Canva and CapCut, this is how businesses will be able to give out content on the best of quality.
So how is AI, for example, what are the opportunities as a student?
Yeah.
And your peers? What opportunities do you see with AI, and what are you doing? What are you using? What AI tools are you using?
Okay, so right now, I want to be very honest, first of all. A bit of AI is corrupting our learning process.
Is your lecturer watching?
I'm sorry, dear lecturer, if you're watching. I don't mean it like this, but I mean it anyway. The point is, on different platforms that we use to learn in school, we are taught on how to code, on how to program, and how to do all these things. But AI is coming in well because with all these things we're learning within such a short period of time, we are able to keep applying because we have a network that gives us more research. So when you have more research, you get to understand, I'm really good at software engineering. This is where I can apply it. You take yourself to a place that carries out an app and start applying your Nini there. Anyway, basically, in a nutshell, it means that AI is opening up doors for people in technology schools because we are able to research more, 1. 2, we are able to make our work easier and faster. So it just depends on someone's interest. There's a lot of spaces. There's the financial space for quantum computing. There's the software engineering for apps and such businesses that require that. And there's also for the health sector. The health sector are improving with computation, so we will need people in the back end. Yeah.
Jacob, in terms of communication media, digital media, what are you using and what are the opportunities?
The opportunities in media are very huge, being a wide space that can be utilized by AI. Right away from, we spoke about the issues of tracking audience listenership or viewership using chatbots. Now you can chat.
Analytics.
Analytics. You can now chat on real time with an AI device giving you real-time feedback. Then you could wait manually for the person to come back in office and give you feedback. Also, analytics and algorithms on how your content is going or how it's doing on online social media platforms are some of the things that AI is coming in to help us simplify them, to make them simpler and also in a better way that is understood.
What about you on your business side?
Well, from a business point, first of all, the AI is coming in big in predictive data. In predictive data, I mean, if you are let's say for us in kilakitu.co.ke, we deal with lots of inventory, either our own inventory or inventory for customers.
Okay.
You want to sell something online and we have to manage your inventory. We have to know how much is in stock for you, is in stock, where it moves, how it moves. So AI tools, algorithms, and I think after this you need to tell us what algorithms are from a student point of view.
Okay.
You have a programming where your algorithms can pick, first of all, how these products move, where it moves, frequency of moving, and then it is able to predict and enable you make easy and more targeted sales predictions. So I think the biggest part of AI, especially from a retail point, is the ability to predict consumer behavior, uptake, and then you're able to do what I would call stocking that is advised by data.
Okay. So step to step, I will read again. Procedures, algorithm. This is a procedure of sequence and actions to accomplish some computational task. So
because there's a lot of conversation about algorithms.
Yeah.
Search engine
Yeah.
optimization, ask engine optimization, algorithms. So what do we need to understand in as far as that is concerned?
So there's it depends now. When it comes to algorithm, there's search algorithm, there's sort algorithm, and like I said, these are just step by step. So in this case, let me give it an example on his industry.
Yeah.
There's a person who has posted, say, a certain thing. So as you post, your algorithm is what will help you push your post, okay? Because it moves step by step. If Gordon sees it, it will not take long. Itanifikia, it will not take long. It will get to the director, it will get to the cameraman, as long as it's step by step. Sindio? So when we're talking about sort algorithm, it will sort you in terms of what you're pushing and who you're pushing it to and who is interested in it.
In short terms, you're talking about the interaction of your post. For example, you're talking of a post. The interaction, how many people have viewed, or how many people have commented,
how many people have searched that search algorithm,
the viewers, the subscribers, and so on.
So let us break it down. You are on Twitter or TikTok, and I have sent a post, okay, and then I'm told haiko na algorithm mzuri, so haina views.
The point that
that
it will not tell you, but what will the indication will be, you receive fewer
yes
viewers.
Why?
Views because
the content may not be worthy to the
because the people who you were sending it to were either the wrong party or the people who are not interested in it. So if you send content, you cannot push content for business based on tech students. They'll be like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with this? You get?
So how do you manipulate algorithms? Keywords?
Yeah, also the target market means you ask people to post and post and post. So if you see another person sees, the algorithm keeps increasing.
Like for example, if I take you to TikTok, that is more trending and more moving very fast, before you log into TikTok, it will ask you your areas of focus, like what are you interested in? Education, games, tech, are you interested in the household issues, food and so on, hairdressing?
So all that is artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Okay.
That is where the machine learning comes in. Jutakuuliza alafu ikujue. Then from there it gives you the search algorithm now.
Let's move to what are the opportunities and challenges.
Wow.
The opportunities are wide. Opportunities comes with challenges at the same time. Whereas we have the gap to advance in AI and also make use of AI in simplifying our work, there are some of the advantages that are coming in between. One of them is data privacy. Data privacy, for example, in the media industry, sharing content or sharing things that are not supposed to be shared by someone or AI. For example, when I log into your computer and try to ask about Gordon, it will give me some of the things that you have been finding out that are, even some of them are private to you. You see, it's not regulated. You cannot keep a password.
So I was agreeing to regulation. Please continue.
To a password that will regulate that when someone logs into my chat GPT, it will not disclose such information. Yeah.
Okay.
So when as we see all these amazing innovations, I think one of the big challenges I find or I see facing Africa is the ability to create those platforms in themselves. We just spoke about a 500 billion investment in the US.
Yeah.
I don't think, or I don't see us getting close in Africa to build such investments.
Yeah.
So what does it mean? Are we going to be left lagging behind, or are we going to be net consumers of technology that we have no control of? And coming back, closer home, because I also read two things I want us to discuss this week. Two pieces of articles I saw yesterday, today. One on IMF having given Kenya 5 billion shillings to build, what was that? The e-procurement.
Yeah.
An e-procurement platform. 5 billion.
5 billion, that's very huge.
Okay, I know the student is laughing because she can code one for probably
100 million Kenyan shillings.
I mean,
okay, so for 5 billion shillings, and it is graduated this year, they can only give 100 million. And then the question is, what is the cost of technology in Africa? Is it overrated? Do we have ability? Have we churned out enough graduates, for example, who are able now to start plugging into these spaces? Or when shall we get to a point where we can compete with the rest of the world?
I think I will withdraw first to the web designers before I say this point. Many people are taking advantage of tech and AI being a new thing to maybe, like, for example, when you talk about overpricing an e-procurement website that is supposed to be developed with almost 1 million Kenyan shillings, now taken to 5 billion Kenyan shillings. I think people are taking advantage of tech at some point to make money from it, but it's also
but my brother, let me tell you, Minor.
Let
me tell you, Minor.
That business is taking advantage of people.
No. If you are a programmer, if you're a tech person, do not be afraid to ask for your work. That work is not easy. In as much as there's AI and all
but
that.
But not even as far as it's not easy, Chero. Realistically, taking it now to a normal.
But do you need 5 billion to create an e-procurement platform?
You guys can't see the Big Brother is giving us 500 billion.
But no. But you see the US.
We need infrastructure to be able to function with these things, and infrastructure for such things is not cheap.
Okay, so it comes with the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So
the computers.
Computers, boosters, databases, and satellites.
But
we
have
need
them
so
in
much.
Place. We have them in place. The only
it's
thing
not
we need
enough.
Is to improve.
If you want, the only way to improve it is to
purchase new ones.
Thank you.
I think maybe what I would agree with Chero is the cost of technology, and I think people need to realize that it is not replacing other budget lines, but it is a requirement. Because if you have a new program, there are some. I mean, technology has also to be upgraded. I'm looking at that 5 billion. Probably the software, the programming part is only 2 billion out of it. But you see, you also now need
people to work there
and machines
and machines that need to also always be serviced and such things, or else they won't work. So don't tafadhali, people in school working for this, you get paid what you're looking for.
But also for the economists, we still say that money is huge, even if it's that labor and so on and equipment. It's a very huge amount.
The other thing I read and saw that has relevance to our discussion, I realized that there was a report on housing. I don't know whether you mentioned it. The report on housing that we have half of this country is not aware of the government housing program.
Whereas from our research again, to the same, in line with what you're talking about, our research says that there are over 63 million people who are in possession of
Wait. But our population is 57 million.
We have a 57 million population. But what he's saying is that we have 63 million gadgets, 63 million mobile phones.
And then half of the population does not know about affordable housing.
And
then mukatae 5 billion.
So I think my question is, with this kind of infrastructure and mobile connectivity in Kenya, why aren't we utilizing tech, AI algorithms for government to have its agenda on top,
I feel like also for us, it's a bit of a more recent or rather very young kind of development. So it wouldn't be so immediate, but I'm liking the awareness, because now more and more people are getting to see that, hey, by the way, we actually do need infrastructure on this and this and that. So there's investment for that. And then now, this is where people are always encouraged to research.
But Chero, if you start trending Kasongo today,
Yeah.
how long does it take to reach every corner of this country?
Few minutes.
Maybe by,
I mean, in 2 days, everyone
yeah.
knows about it.
Yeah.
In 2 days.
Again, then that's algorithm, because if our
Correct.
algorithm
So-
cannot push this house agenda to be based
Correct.
on this is what we want
I
the
think
citizens to see.
again,
Then
Gordon, I can pull your point to as a perspective or the unique interest of certain people or nations in terms of matters that they are given priority in terms of
that is why
focus.
even Big Brother wants control of their data, so that with such things they can be able to push the right things to their
I
citizens.
think where we are going wrong, the issues of bringing in tech to utilize the resources that we have, our priorities are not centered in terms of tech. Maybe we have a lot of other pressing issues that are more important than maybe tech issues. Maybe it will come a time when we embrace it and we use it to evolve such things of
Yeah, maybe.
the gap we have in terms of
Mkumbuke
housing
budget
awareness.
imefungwa ya 22 decades.
I think now connected to that, then would bring on, of course, issues of, the ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
First of all, are we, and maybe Chero mentioned that a bit, are we at a point where, as a country, we are responsible enough, to deploy algorithms to talk about the housing agenda, because we have very many mobile phones, 60 million to 57.
Yeah.
And what does that do to our, ethnic cocoons, for example? Are we safe with that data, that the algorithm will not sway as based on our, small boxes of tribes and ethnicities and backgrounds and biasness? So are we a mature enough society that we can deploy algorithms?
Well, to be honest, in as much as we've already had that over 63 million gadgets are out there.
Yeah.
Controlling an algorithm of 63 million gadgets is not easy. But then again, this would be the government's policies for them to choose what they can distribute to all these 63 million gadgets. So if we want to deploy anything, yes, we can control our data. Even the other day, we were given a whole, it was not an executive order. It was maybe a legislative law, something on ICT, based on AI and everything.
Yeah,
I think people should
the
go back
AI
and
strategy.
read that. Yes, because that will give you maybe a forefront on what you're looking to see in the future. Because these laws will be applied, these laws will happen, and definitely they will affect us directly or indirectly. Yeah.
Again, in media spaces, the issue comes around on ethical issues on models, where an issues of biasness also in or spreading hatred news on such platforms. Maybe the issues of ICT regulation on such issues on using AI maybe a limitants or something that will control such things. But there have been a lot of biasness that have been resulting from issues of AI.
Yeah, generally, I think the key to these ethical dilemma issues lies in regulation, transparency. I still think that we need to move more on self-regulation. I think big companies like Google, Microsoft, most of them have already set up ethics boards.
True.
Ethics boards for self-regulation.
Yeah.
And the challenge, especially for people in IT, data, technology, AI, is the sooner we start embracing self-regulation, the better. Otherwise, Big Brother is watching.
Yeah.
Big Brother will, come and try reduce or curtail the freedoms.
Yeah.
We've seen it with our neighbors, Sudan.
Yeah, South Sudan.
I
Oh
think
yeah, they have a 30-day.
90.
It's 90.
I think it was 90 days
social
ban.
media.
All right. You can imagine the number of jobs that rely on
Businesses.
the businesses.
Online.
You can imagine communicate. Today, you can imagine if that happens in Kenya. Kabogo comes and says, you know what, mumeenda sana. 30 days. Hata wacha 30 days, 20 days,
I think
businesses now, there's a lot of commerce, e-commerce that's going on because of social media and all. So self-regulation will be the key. In the absence of it, I see Big Brother coming and knocking and trying to reduce or curtail.
True. Also, with how far AI is going, there is a big complaint on the education industry. My dear lecturer, I'm speaking for you. There's a very big
Is it true the
complaint.
lecturers at the Yale University have? I think the fact checker should fact check that.
There was a viral video that was going around that had a lot of views concerning that. It was an AI generated, so just issues of AI.
Deepfake.
Even if you see the video itself, as you see it here, it is the voice that is narrating the video itself. It's not
Human.
Yeah, it's AI generated. And so it's someone who was just trying a certain PR of marketing a certain website in it. Yeah.
Anyway, but where there's smoke, there's fire.
I mean, so like I was telling my lecturer,
the point was,
the point is, when it comes to education, I feel like also it's gonna take us a bit more of time, because most lecturers don't want to embrace AI. In that anytime we're in class, we're a tech school, I beg, we need our gadgets on top of the table. Our lecturers are like, nataka mfanye hivi. You guys don't use the gadgets, you guys try to write your notes. But when you look at it in the long run, my memory for my brain and my book might not be as good as the one in AI. So this is where, again, tuna fail, because we're not being allowed even in school to
because
apply
this is big.
This is big.
This is big. Let me do a Trump and say, this is big. So you want to stop writing notes, okay, on Kasuku exercise books and record on AI and get a summary of the notes, okay?
No, not to only say that.
But what happened to learning? What about learning?
But listen, you see again, this is our problem.
Right now you can upload a PDF that is sent by your lecturer and listen to it as an audio.
Yeah, but what happened to learning? Aren't you supposed to
learn?
learn?
That's why I am saying it is so hard for us to embrace
why take a child through primary school and teach them math when they can have a calculator? It's the same thing.
Well,
but he has to go and learn 1 + 1.
Yeah, theory part also is important of the learning cycle.
Yes.
And we're not saying no to learning like that. I totally agree when they say we can write notes, but I want them to also start adapting into AI, because sometimes when we're in class, some codes zinakwama, sawa, but the first aid you have is what is AI. Even when you call your lecturer to come see what you're doing, your code imekwama na imekwama, it's like, give me some time, I'll figure it out. That whole time ukifigure out, I would have just put it in AI. AI gives me my mistake, I note it down, and I continue. Adaptivity of what's going on is what we need right now. As a third world country, we will take time to adapt, or rather have the good infrastructures that are in the big brother side, but it will not take us that long to learn. We are smarter than AI.
But again, as we go on, in terms of, I take you back a bit, in terms of some of the industries going down, as we go on with the AI, like right now, how many people do take notes during interviews than sending their author AI to just record for you? Do you take notes down? Like the paper industry is going to die. The issues of
we're going to reduce tree being cut. Deforestation is going to reduce. Like, let's look at this on the brighter side.
We ban it in the other side, but the other side we are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's why we have these conversations, and I hope as many people get to provoke the thinking, especially around that adaptation of technology.
That will be our big problem.
Because as we talked about last week, there's always resistance when it comes to technology.
Yes.
I mean, I can imagine a lecturer in class, like, what are you even doing there? What am I teaching?
They're very curious, like, why are you looking at your laptop? What are you doing?
Why am I I need to write on the blackboard. But if you look at developed countries, if you look at China, for example, the education technology there, I was seeing somewhere marking exams, they're marking with a phone. The app, you just scan.
KCSE, it'll take 2 months kutoka.
One person will not even, like 1,000 students. I mean, it's about 10 minutes, just passing. As you pass, it scans,
and it's very accurate.
And it is absolutely accurate. Okay. So I think there's also, I don't know how fast we are going to get into the learning curve and adapt to it, because technology is not necessarily a bad thing, but the fear of it. become so.
The fear of also self-regulation, because it can be very relative. You know that. That's why I don't think regulation by self will work. But with time, maybe tutaona. Let's also try and adapt it and see how best. It's not like we are bonded to one thing. We can always change and we can always give it a new way of seeing things.
Even
Okay,
not-
next.
let me take you back a bit before we move forward.
Okay.
Before that, the self-regulation will not work, and also the global or the institutional regulation has not been working. In 2021, recommendation of the ethics of artificial intelligence, in November 2021, UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, adopted the first global standard on AI ethics, emphasizing human rights and also the issues of transparency, the issues of accountability for countries to develop their own AI governance policy. But is it working currently?
Countries should develop their own, meaning ya Kenya itakuwa kama ya TZ. Sindio? So by that we will be able to manipulate our algorithms and everything we want according to what will help our people.
Good. I think before we wrap up,
Okay.
I know we probably are going to wrap the AI conversation today.
Yes.
And we can't do that without looking at the future of AI. And of course, it appears that the future is going to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
In as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. In just about 20 years, nobody would have predicted, that we would be where we are at.
Yeah.
That beyond going to use of computers and machines, you create artificial intelligence where those machines don't even need to be told what to do, that it is already programmed. So I'm looking at the future, first of all, from the very good statistic we just got. 63 million mobile phones against a population of 57. Or did you say 60.3? One of those. Yeah. Against a population of 57 million. Like we have more gadgets than people in this country.
Yes.
So what are we predicting in the next couple of years that, people listening or watching, what are the trends that will be driven by AI? Are we going to have, mobile assistants, somebody who is managing your health, managing your diet, managing your your diary? Yeah. Already we have that in Siri. But what are these groundbreaking innovations that we are looking at in the next couple of years?
I think the first one that I even saw in China was, the trucks that are being driven without drivers. Have you seen that? There are cars that are even being driven without drivers. It will reduce accidents on roads that will kill human beings. That is a good part I'm looking at. And then secondly, it is the fact about our data and our blockchain system. So like if we have data put in a certain cloud, we can always be able to manipulate it and control it at any given time. So it will not be hard for us as a country or us as a continent to find ways to improve ourselves daily, because we don't have that data. Ushaienda kwa ofisi ya gavana alafu naambiwa hata hiyo file ilienda sijui hiyo file. No, it's always so easy. You can call on AI, generate for me the file under e-citizen, this and this and that, and it will give you that file.
To talk of the future of AI from a personal perspective, I would say that, we are already in the future. It's a matter of development of the future now of AI. You see, for this future, from your data, 63 gadgets and missing, still information is not flowing. It means even if we'll not make use of AI for the next 5 years, we'll still remain in the dark space. That is, if the governments and institutions will not invest in AI for the future, will still remain there, no change. Yeah.
Well, I think mind-blowing, but as we said, this has to be anchored on self-regulation, right infrastructure, right gadgets. Of course, I envy young people. I envy you people. You are living in exciting times. You are living in very exciting times. I see a lot of opportunities coming, for you people. So if you don't have the gadgets, first of all, just dial Kila Kitu.
You need it.
Because if you need it, we got you. You need to get there. I think today you have to arm yourself with, the right gadget.
Yes.
And the starter pack, you need to have a good laptop, good internet connection, and I think you have to have good headphones because it is your space. You know, it is
Yeah.
your space. That's the starter pack, you know, for the young people these days.
Yes.
And I think with that, it's a wrap for AI.
Oh yeah, for sure. I am so glad we have talked about this in as deep as we could go.
Yeah.
But we can't wait to hear from you guys in the comment section, because most of you have more knowledge than we actually do now. So we want to hear about what you guys think on the coming trends, on how far AI will take this country and the world right now. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyone who's being left out? Hakuna.
I think
Kuna
that's
feel
all.
satisfied. Yeah.
Thank you. I think it was a good week, good discussion.
Yeah.
Look forward to next week for those of us who are listening to us on Spotify, on YouTube. Keep engaging us. I think we got some very good suggestions for even discussion topics. And
They should also suggest some topics we should discuss. Something they've talked with friends and they didn't come to a conclusion. Write on the comment section.
especially
Hapo
the
chini.
big ones.
Yes, please, the
big
big
ones.
ones. Wow, thank you so much for tuning into the channel today. We're so glad to have you. Please remember to like, to share, to subscribe, and to comment. And special thanks to our sponsors, kilakitu.co.ke. You need it, they got you. Bye-bye. See you on the next episode.